Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 14, first look on DraftKings. It looks like a fun week. I'm telling you, there's a big slate. We're in like our final week of buys this week. NFL DFS does not get any better than when everybody's fantasy league starts winding down. Teams are out of it. They've traded away all their players in their dynasty leagues. They're waiting for next year's drafts. They didn't make the playoffs. They come on over and they try out the stuff on DraftKings. So if you're one of those guys who's just starting out, these are the videos that you need to watch. We are going to take a look at everything that we're going to do to try and build tournament lineups for this week. I'm going to build one specific lineup. I have an entire playlist, if you're new on DraftKings or FanDuel, called How to Win on DraftKings on this channel. And speaking about that, I've got some things I got to talk to you about after the bumper video. We're approaching 50,000 subscribers on the main channel. We need 520 more. When we get there, we're going to do some giveaways. I'll talk to you about that in just a bit. So we go over how I build lineups for tournaments. It's a quarterback, two of his pass catchers. We're going to bring it back with somebody on the team and find a secondary stack that we can build with. We're going to try and find some value and attack this week 14 slate in NFL DFS. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video. 10% rule is completely in effect. If this video gets 10,000 views, we need 1,000 likes. If this video gets 8,000 views, we need at least 800 likes. If it gets 15,000, we need 1,500 likes. It's up to you. You see that number down below? Drop a like on the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Let's hit that 50K number so I can do these giveaways. Finally, you got to be subscribed to win. So do that. Leave me a reply down below with who you think is a glaring value early in the week. It's Monday. We got 7 days to pivot, guys. So if I don't mention somebody, it'll be okay. I promise. Breathe. And let's go.
He's a legend.
As I mentioned in the open, we are approaching 50,000 subscribers here on the main YouTube channel. We're 520 away. We can very possibly get there by week 14 kickoff. So if you have not already, please click that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. When we get there, I will be doing multiple giveaways. We're going to be giving away a few month-long subscriptions to rotogrinders.com. We're going to be giving away a few month-long subscriptions to Establish the Run. We're going to give away some DraftKings stuff. We're going to give away some Underdog Fantasy. I don't know what the giveaway is going to be yet. It might be shirts. It might be hats. It might just be tickets, money in your account to play the great games that they have over there on Underdog Fantasy. But you got to subscribe to win. So click that subscribe button down below. Make sure you ring the bell when you do it so you can become part of that Noti gang and realize, and as soon as I post new content, and I do post a lot of it throughout the week. The Smiz Gang Listener League, it's bigger, guys. It's now 3,250 people large. They made it bigger. We got to fill it if we want to keep it at that range or maybe test out the waters at 3,500. $10 entry fee, 3 max. Nobody can enter more than 3 times and 0 rake. That means no service fee from DraftKings. Usually in a tournament that is this price or this buy-in level, 12 to 15% of the prize pool gets taken right off the top for DraftKings to do what they do at DraftKings. So no rake in this tournament, best tournament that exists. And let's take a look at what we got. So there's a couple of high totaled games. One, we have a lot of 5-box running backs. We're going to highlight them on the Tuesday video for our top running backs. I'm counting off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5.5, maybe 6. That's a lot of 5-box running backs this week. So a lot of places for us to find. And then there's some guys that never hit that 5-box list that are still good running backs. So another week where there's going to be a lot of good running backs on the slate. So I think we can find some value there. So it's focusing on the quarterbacks. We want to focus on quarterbacks from high total games. Obviously, I've already told you, if you looked at the thumbnail, that Dak Prescott's going to be our guy going up against Washington, who have allowed the most DraftKings points to opposing quarterbacks so far this year. The Cowboys train continues to roll along. Hopefully they can do that again this week. But let's talk about a few of the others. We have a very premium matchup between the second and third highest priced quarterbacks on the slate. Josh Allen at 7,800 can certainly sustain 2 guys if he has one of those ceiling games. We've discussed throughout the year that how many times do you think Josh Allen is going to score 30 or more fantasy points on the season? He has done it 1, 2, 3 times so far. He's come close to other times. The number we came up with was probably 5-ish times, maybe 6 in a really good year. Even if he misses and gets you 28 or 29, he's putting you in a position to win GPPs, especially when he throws 4 touchdowns. Has a matchup with Tampa Bay, who doesn't let you run the ball. Not that Buffalo likes to establish it anyway. and it is, I believe, the highest totaled game on the slate with 53.5 on the other side of it. Brady double stacks are as good as you can get. It's the highest played double stack every single week. Even though he went through that little tough stretch for 3 weeks, he still had multiple touchdowns in 2 of those 3 games and hit the 300-yard bonus once. Last week against Atlanta, 4 touchdowns, 368. You know where the ball's going when it comes out of his hand. It's going to go to Godwin. It's going to go to Gronk. It's going to go to Evans. And then they're going to sprinkle in some other guys. Uncle Lenny being the 4th highest. You could include him because of how high his market share of targets are for them. A couple of other high total quarterbacks to focus on. We'll go over this in our top stacks video. It's kind of a haves and have not week, right? We've got these really high totaled games, and then we have some lower total ones. But like Joe Burrow, monitor his pinky. If it's good and he can go and they can keep that swelling down and there's no massive damage, love him and love the double stacks there. On the other side of that game, we have Jimmy G. Don't love stacking Jimmy G usually, but because there's not that much high upside, I'd probably go with a 49er as a bring back or utilize players from that game as the secondary. You're focusing on quarterbacks that are going to have 25 or more DraftKings points for a tournament viable player. So that's where we got to start. And for this video, we're going to start with Dak Prescott. He's going to be our guy, meaning that we're going to pick 2 players from Dallas and 1 player coming back. I'm going to start where I always start, which is right here. CeeDee Lamb is very, very good. And CeeDee Lamb, aside from this game against Kansas City, has gotten solid usage, very predictable, 7+ targets a game pretty much every week with a ceiling of like 12 or 13. We know that he can get there on short yardage conversion plays like just easy catches that are low ADOT throws. He also has big playability. He also has big after the catch ability as well. So catch and run plays there for him. There's a couple of other players. Michael Gallup looks very good at 5,500 if you wanted to go that route. I'm personally not going that for this video, but he is definitely in play as long as Amari Cooper does not keep seeing a lot of targets. But he did not play last week, was on a snap count. I expect him to bounce back. So also in play here is Amari Cooper. But my secondary play for him in the stack is going to be Dalton Schultz. Filling the tight end spot is difficult. I usually go with a one-off at tight end. I look for value a lot, but paying up for a premium tight end can be extremely beneficial in spots. And this is another week where that is the case. I'm going to go with Dalton Schultz in this spot for Washington, specifically as a bring back play. Terry McLaurin, God, man, can we just get more, just more targets? Every week he's a 5 under 5 guy because of how low his floor is because of quarterback play and how high his ceiling is because of talent and the fact that Washington has to throw a lot to stay in games. For the purpose of this video, we also lost Logan Thomas in the last game to a knee injury. We're going to have to monitor Ricky Seals-Jones. If Seals-Jones is available for this game, he was inactive against the Raiders. If he's back and active, we know what he does in the absence of Thomas. He makes for a great safety valve, but it's Monday and we just don't know, so I can't include him. I'd probably pivot off of Schultz to Seals-Jones in that situation, go with one of the other Dallas pass catchers. But right now, I'm going to go with Antonio Gibson, establishing himself even in the presence of J.D. McKissick in week 12, way more involved in the passing game, has to be for them to be very successful. Could be a league winner for teams who drafted him in the second round, like me, going into this season. I love the fact that they're finally handing him the keys to the car. 19 touches in week 11 is the lowest that he's had in the last 4 games. Against Tampa Bay, 26. Against Seattle, 36. Against Las Vegas, 28. Volume over everything, especially when it's being included in the passing game. 13 targets each of the last, or sorry, in total the last 2 weeks. So there's my double stack and my bring back. I had mentioned how the other super high total game is right here, right? Now, I don't know if anything, look, Brady stacks are very much in vogue every single week, and everybody wants to play the guys on the other end of the ball, on the other end of the catch. So like his pass catchers are also very highly played every week, whether they're Gronk, who's been now priced way up to 6,000, and rightfully so. He was at 46, 44, 53. Now at 6,000, we're going to kind of test the limits because Gronk at 6K, if he's catching touchdowns and getting 8-9 targets is great. But like Gronk can also have weeks where he has like, you know, not 2 touchdowns. We'll see. That's all I can say. Buffalo has some very talented linebackers, but they did lose their best cover corner recently. So if you wanted to pay up for Steph Diggs for Buffalo going against Tampa, fine. For me, Chris Godwin coming off of another massive week, 17 targets, caught 15 balls. Mike Evans, my typical way that I've gone with Evans and Godwin this year is figure out which one, or when Antonio Brown is in play, but he's not in play this week. When one of them is going to be higher played, I just play the other, right? Now, it didn't work out this week as Evans scored 17 points against Atlanta and Godwin scored 1 million because, 33.2 because of the 15 catches in full PPR with bonuses. Didn't even need a touchdown to pay off huge. But typically, I'm going to pay the lower played one. So depending on who that is this weekend, it's probably going to be the one that I'm going to overweight. And then for this video, I'm going to use Chris Godwin because I want access to that game. That means that I need a bring back play from this game. Not going to be able to afford Diggs because of the price that I've got left. Let's just plug in like a super cheap defense just for the sake of doing it. And the Lions. Great. Now I've got to pick somebody on Buffalo. The running backs, don't want it. I mentioned how Leonard Fournette is great leverage off of Tom Brady doubles, but like Fournette is also catching a high percentage as well. So like everybody knows about that leverage. So you're not really getting leverage. All of Tampa Bay's players are always going to be really highly played. You are leveraging off the Brady stacks, but like you're leveraging onto another 20% player. You're pivoting onto another 20% player. So there's no leverage there to be had. I'm going to go with Beasley in this spot at 5K. Solid usage. Tampa Bay is going to have answers for Diggs. They're going to have answers for everybody else. Obviously, Diggs is the alpha. I'm going to go with Godwin to Beasley in this spot, hoping for a shootout. If it does shoot out and Josh Allen has to throw it like 40 to 50 times in this game, that means Beasley has a great expectation of 7 to 12 targets. I'll take that for 5K and I'll move on, leaving me 10,200 for my final 2 spots. There's a lot of running backs, like I said, right? There's going to be a lot of running backs in play. It seems like it's been that way every single week on DraftKings from like 6,500 and down. Tony Pollard at 6,400 is really expensive, but I like the fact that they priced him up there in case Ezekiel Elliott is out, because then you can't just pivot to him like everybody did with Sony Michel last week. You got to pivot. You got to price up the backup. So good job on DraftKings' behalf there. Saquon Barkley at 6,000 against the Chargers. If you wanted to attack there, fine. Chuba Hubbard against Atlanta, who's been very giving. With CMC out, yes, we know that CMC is out, guys. So at least you know that he's going to get volume heading his way. But we had a coming out party. Javonte Williams is who we thought he was. He is very good with the ball when they place it in his stomach in the backfield. He is very good and dynamic when they throw him the ball out of the backfield. He is 5,900. That seems absurd to me. Against a Detroit defense at home, a 5-box running back, if you will. 5,900 is a freaking lock for Javonte Williams, unless Melvin Gordon comes back and they're like, yeah, we're just going to go back to giving it to Melvin Gordon half the time. Like, do you not see what this kid can do and what he can be? If you're like Melvin Gordon going into an offseason right now at this point, why are you even doing anything? Just shut it down and say, you know what? I'm going to be a free agent. I had a good season. People saw what I could do. I'm just going to lock it down unless there's like some incentive stuff in his contract. But like, let me go into free agency healthy so I can secure the bag here and move forward. But like Javonte Williams, as long as he gets service, as long as he gets 20 touches a game moving forward, I'll be fine with everything. That's just, you got to do it. Please, Denver. Please. Leaving us 4,300 for a flex play. I want some volume. Probably going to have to find a wide receiver in this range because 4,300 is too cheap. Laviska Shenault is fetch. He's not going to happen. We're not going to try and make him happen anymore. He is redacted. Callaway, no. But it is the Jets, so like maybe. Robbie Anderson, no. Freeman, no. Khalif Raymond, maybe, but like no. But like, why is Josh Reynolds less than him? Why? You know they're gonna throw the ball. it's not like Patrick Surtain Jr. is going to be like locked onto him. Josh Reynolds, again, looks like he's in a high volume spot for a low salary. We need like 12 points to pay this off. He is the last man in. Based on who is at this price right now, he looks like the best player. There's a couple of other wide receivers that are cheaper, like 3,600 range that I saw somebody that looked pretty all right. Right, I'm not getting in on the Washington guys without them. Tajay Sharp, no. Curtis Samuel, not really all that interested. Hardman's getting out snapped. Like maybe Pringle, if you were interested in him. He's now becoming the secondary guy for Kansas City. Zay Jones running a lot of snaps for Las Vegas. Like they're all like dart throws down here at this point. But like Reynolds, 4,100, getting solid usage, playing a good percentage of snaps, running a ton of routes, obviously, and is arguably the most talented wide receiver at this point in his career of everybody that they have on the outside in Detroit. So I'm going to go with Reynolds to finish off this lineup and give us a little extra correlation with Williams. So a very highly correlated lineup. Prescott, double stack, bring back, secondary stack from the highest total game on the day. And then we have Javonte Williams to Reynolds. I understand if you don't want to play Detroit here and go up against your defense, so you can pivot easily to just any other defense that's down in here. Fine. Whatever. Don't care. Right? We'll figure that out as the week goes on. There's plenty of value in being different with your defense. Do what you have to do. Don't play the chalk at defense. Load up everywhere else. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel so we can hit 50K and do these giveaways. Leave me a reply down below. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.